Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we have a super exciting review for you because this is a figure that I've been waiting to get a hold of for quite some time and get finished. I did get this a little while back, but it took some time to get it finished completely to the point where I was happy with it, and with a sculpt as unbelievably gorgeous as this, it deserves the absolute best paint job, so I tried to go ahead and give it that. And I think I achieved a really nice look for the figure, and I was pretty happy with it overall. But this is the Yuppie Chen Tyrannosaurus Rex. Again, this is one of the, if not the most detailed Tyrannosaurus models, the most detailed dinosaur models I have in my collection. The sculpt on this is insane, and you will see that here right now as we go ahead and get a closer look at it. So starting up here at the head sculpt of the Rex, you can see that the actual detailing here on the face is just off the charts incredible. The texturing of the face is so incredibly nice. There is just so much beautiful detail up here on the head sculpt of this Rex that it is honestly jaw-dropping. Unbelievable sculpt and detail included. Even looking down here at the lower jaw, like these really cool kind of scoots that sort of like hanging off of the face right here in the lower jaw, and they almost look like they're a little bit sharp. Like they look so cool and unbelievably well done. And just generally the texturing here of the lower jaw looks great the entire way through, and you can see many different wounds that have been sculpted out here by Yuppie Chen. You can see lots of cuts and everything on the face of this Rex, making sure that you know that this is a very tough individual that has seen his share of battles, and recently as well, especially as the way I have them painted, they look like they are currently open wounds. Maybe this Rex is just returning from some sort of a battle of some kind, but again, it looks incredible. You can see a little bit of the skin here kind of creeping through from the inside of the mouth, and that leads out here into the teeth. The teeth all look absolutely gorgeous. You can see it a little better over here. Those teeth are sculpted beautifully, and they look very, very nice in every aspect. Those teeth are incredible, and the actual inside of the mouth as well is really nicely sculpted. The tongue and everything is beautifully sculpted, but once you actually get the mouth on there and you glue it shut and everything, you don't see the inside of the mouth anymore, unfortunately. But trust me when I tell you, the inside of the mouth is pretty much as highly detailed as the rest of the figure. So another very exciting aspect of the figure. You can see the nostrils sculpted out up here. Again, this side of the head is absolutely beautiful, just like the previous side was. You can also see lots of really nice cuts and scrapes on this side of the Rex's face as well, even up here under the eye. The detailing around the eye also looks really, really good. Beautiful armored look almost to the top of the head of the Rex here as well, which looks really cool. You can see some more of those kind of scoots and osteoderms hanging off here of the lower jaw of the Rex, which also looks really, really nice. So the head sculpt, I think, is just unbelievable. And again, sporting so much detail, it is absolutely insane. Coming back up here to the top of the head, you can see some more really, really nice texturing to the skin. Again, it looks very tough, very strong, the way that the skin is sculpted. Coming down here into the neck, you start to pick up a few ridges here running along the back, as well as some ridges that run along in other spots as well. Moving down here into the neck, you can see beautiful texturing to that skin. You can see lots of really nice movement shown here in the skin of the neck of the dinosaur, and it looks great. Really nice kind of wrinkling of the skin here in the throat region as well. I'm having a little bit of trouble here moving it around because the tail keeps hitting this lamp that I have over here, but you can see the underside of the Rex looks insane as far as the amount of detail that they've included down here as well. Lots of beautiful movement shown in the neck region of the dinosaur as far as the sculpt and detail goes. Again, it looks absolutely beautiful as we move down here into the body. Once you get down here into the body, you can continue to see lots of kind of skin wrinkles and everything showing up all over in certain places, and it really beautifully again shows the movement of the Rex and exactly what is going on with the sculpt at that point in time. Like I had stated, it's probably the most detailed sculpt I've ever seen in person. It is just unbelievable. You can also see that those kind of ridges and osteoderms and everything continue to run down the length of the back. Very nice skin texture up here on the top as well. You have that beautiful arm sculpt here, nice and small like we would expect it to be. The hand sculpt looks great. You have the nicely sculpted nails. And you can also see right here some more of that gorgeous sculpt and detail of the skin and the movement here on the underside of the Rex and in the stomach region of the Rex. It looks great. Coming back here into the hip bone, you can see the hip protruding from the skin just a little bit there. Gorgeous texturing as we move down the leg here. Again, there's another open wound right here. As you can see that dinosaur has definitely been in some battles lately. You do have the kneecap right here in the front. Some more really nice wrinkling there in the skin of the knee. Coming down here, you can see how gorgeous that sculpt and detail looks as far as like the texturing. And it's pretty much just a painter's dream, I will say. Beautiful foot sculpt down here as we try again not to hit this lamp over here, but that foot sculpt is insanely, insanely nice. The nails are sculpted out beautifully. They generally look like they're almost sharp looking, and they really look exactly like I would expect the nails on a Tyrannosaur foot to look like, as well as the foot itself generally is so unbelievably well sculpted. That as well looks pretty much exactly like I would expect a Rex foot sculpt to look. You have the very nicely defined musculature here in the calf also. Coming back here into the rear of the thigh, you can see all the detail here of the skin and the way it's being pulled off of the the tail area because of the leg pulling forward. It's really stretching the skin, and that looks great there as well. Very nicely shown in the sculpt. You have some more of those ridges and everything that actually start to get a little bit larger right here in this area as we lead back here into the tail. And then we have the rest of the tail out here. Again, continues to look insanely nice. And then when you get nice and close, you can see how beautiful that skin texturing is. You can see how nice that scale detail is as we lead out to the end of the tail. Looking over here at this side, again, you can see lots of nice movement shown here in the neck region of the Rex. Gorgeous skin creasing, skin folding, skin stretching. Everything looks awesome in that area of the dinosaur as well. And just generally this Rex, you could see it's a very big, very well fed, and very intimidating looking figure and dinosaur. It's got lots of, I guess you could say, beef here in the stomach region, so it definitely looks like a very healthy Rex. Again, coming down here into the body, you can continue to see how off the charts gorgeous that sculpt and detail is as far as the skin texturing. And another cut here in the stomach region of the dinosaur. Beautiful arm sculpt yet again, very nicely sculpted hands. Great creasing right here, again showing some of that movement of the arms right there. Beautiful, beautiful texturing of the skin throughout the entire stomach region of our Rex. Some more really nice detailing here of the skin here in the leg as this leg is pulling back, stretching the skin in the stomach region. You could just see lots of really nice detail here on the underside of the Rex and in the stomach region of the Rex. You have the hip bone once again present right here. You can see some more of those ridges that run along the back, but also the top of the hip bone as well. Moving down here, you see lots of skin folding, skin wrinkling, and everything going on in the leg and the thigh area. Another cut there, another open wound. Moving down here into the lower part of the leg, you can see the kneecap a little bit present right there. Some more really nice skin texturing in the leg as we move down into that foot sculpt. And look at the foot sculpt over here. Looks just as absolutely beautiful as the foot sculpt did on the previous side. Very nicely sculpted nails. You can also see the dew claws are sculpted out, as we can see over there on the further foot. And then coming back up here, again, really nice detailing as we continue to run down the length of the tail. You can see some more of those kind of ridges and everything that follow the length of the tail. Beautiful curve in the tail as well. Very nice detailing in pretty much every area of this Rex. The underside is about as insanely highly detailed as everywhere else on this figure. So this Rex is about as mind-blowingly beautiful as you're ever going to find on any Tyrannosaurus model, I would say. This thing is just off the charts, unbelievably beautiful. And then we actually also have the base that comes with the Rex, and you can see it's a very nice earthy area that the Rex is walking through, and you can see lots of kind of like little stones and everything showing up in certain areas. A beautiful textured appearance to the earthy area, and you can also see the footprints of the Rex, and the Rex does come with a peg on the foot, so it slides in there. It's nothing that you have to glue onto your base, so it can go in and out of the base however you would like. When it comes to, if you would like to pull it out and take a look at it, you can, because it has a peg, which is not something you often get when it comes to kind of models like this. To different kits, you don't often get that peg type of a gimmick to apply it to the base, and that is, again, another thing that I really, really love about Yuppie Chen's work, and just how beautiful and professional it is when it comes to this kit. But I gave it just kind of a very dark, sort of a jungle-like look, I think, to the earthy area, and I'm probably going to add some vegetation on it just to really complete the scene, but I thought that the actual paint was pretty good for this type of a base and just kind of like the way it should look. It looks to me like a jungle floor, so that's kind of the reason why I gave it this nice dark looking paint scheme. But this is an absolutely unbelievable Rex and a beautiful set with this base. Overall, It is amazing. Now again, to add your dinosaur to its base, all you simply have to do is match up that peg. It goes right in. Same deal over here. The peg goes right in, and your Rex is now standing perfectly on the base. For a size on this Rex, this one here is in 1/35th scale. He actually had numerous size groups that you could purchase this kit in. I obviously have the 1/35th version here, and for a length, you are looking at about 14 inches in length, or about 35.5 centimeters. And then for a height on the Rex, right about here, you're going to see it. Actually, we'll go behind it. Come in at about 5.5 inches, maybe actually closing in on about 5 3/4 inches, or about close to 14.5 centimeters. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, and Robert Muldoon, who is hiding back here behind our Tyrannosaurus model, but you can see those next to the Yuppie Chen Tyrannosaurus and get a pretty good idea of the size. Being in 1/35th scale, it is very similar in size to the Papo Rex, because again, I think that's roughly what the Papo Rex scale is, and you can see next to these figures here again, that this Yuppie Chen Rex, even at 1/35th scale, does sport a really nice and very striking size to it, and again, is an unbelievable model. Detail-wise, this thing is just insane. Definitely much more highly detailed than the Papo Rex, and that's saying something because Papo is really, really good at adding in detail to their figures, and this Yuppie Chen Rex here pretty much puts the Papo version to shame. So this Yuppie Chen Tyrannosaurus Rex is again one of the single most unbelievable dinosaur models that I have ever seen in person in my entire life. It is that good. The only downside I think for you guys at this point is the fact that this is actually sold out now, and it is no longer available to purchase. However, he does actually have a Giganotosaurus coming out that looks to be just as incredible as this Rex. So if you are interested in picking up one of Yuppie Chen's models, just looking at this Rex here, again, I will include links in the description to where you can contact him to acquire the Giganotosaurus before that as well sells out. So I would get on purchasing that right away if you are in fact interested. But again, sculpt-wise, this thing is unbelievable. There is so much detail shown in the sculpt of this that it is just jaw-dropping. Like, it just baffles me as to how he could possibly put so much sculpt and detail into something like this. It takes the term highly detailed to new heights, I will say that. And it is beautifully sculpted as far as all the minute details go, like so many skin wrinkles all over the body, just really nicely showing exactly the movement happening with the dinosaur in perfect fashion throughout the sculpt. And I love the little things that he's added in, like the slits all over the body, all the wounds, because that's actually a really fun thing to kind of paint onto the figure and give it some life and some realism, is all of the open wounds all over the figure. And he's applied them in many different areas. And again, really showing off the fact that this Rex was fairly recently in a fight, and I would say is probably the winner because he seems to be still standing, looks nice and healthy aside from those open wounds on the body. But again, it is so beautifully sculpted, even in the aspect of the wounds. The wounds themselves are really nicely sculpted. He's done a great job of even adding in things like the gums inside the mouth and everything, and just generally so much detail. I cannot stress that enough because it is honestly putting me almost at a loss for words at how highly detailed the sculpt of this Rex is. I also like the positioning of the body and the way it's just kind of walking along, looking very nice and intimidating, pretty much telling us that he is the king of the dinosaurs. And with an intimidating look like this, I 100% believe him. It also comes with a beautiful base that is very highly detailed, pretty much as highly detailed as the Rex itself, and the fact that you can apply the Rex to the base with pegs is extremely cool because I love to be able to apply my dinosaurs to a base like that. I love the ability to not have to glue them on. I mean, I will glue them on if they have to because it's not a big deal to me, but I always do like the option of taking the dinosaur off of the base, especially if I want to do some like dinosaur photography with it. I can't really do that most times with figures that are on bases that don't come off when I glue them on, but this one here, of course, being removable is, again, just another extra awesome aspect of the model itself. So if you would like to pick up some of Yuppie Chen's work, once again, this Rex, unfortunately, is sold out, so you can no longer purchase it, but you can order the new Giganotosaurus that he has coming out. I do believe currently he has the 1/20th scale version available. 1/35th scale will follow at some point soon. I think maybe the beginning of next year. he will start to sell that. So it wouldn't hurt to contact him now and kind of get an idea roughly of when that will occur and maybe show some interest in the Giganotosaurus. But again, it'll come as a kit. You'll have to put it together and paint it. This is exactly what I did with mine, how I painted mine. It was really, again, just up to you how you want yours to look. This, I thought, was a pretty cool look for the figure. So this is what I went with. So again, if you are interested in picking up some of Yuppie Chen's work, make sure you check the description or contact me and I will contact him for you. Otherwise, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.